In this History Illustrated video, we're going to take a look at the vocabulary word civic virtue. Now, civic is similar to a word we've been exposed to before, such as civil. And when we talk about things that are civil, we're generally talking about the people, or more in particular, the citizens. So if you're talking about the people or the citizens of a certain place, you have civic or civil. Now, virtue kind of means goodness. Now, it's a pretty in depth meaning, but in general, if we think of it as goodness, it helps out here. So, if you think of this, civic virtue is the goodness of the people, or thought of the opposite way as well, the goodness of a person to do good for the people or the citizens of a country. So, civic virtue would be somebody doing something good for the whole community, so like your town, your state, your country, somebody's doing good for them, even at the cost of themselves. Like it might not be such a good thing for them, but they're doing it anyway. Here's a good example from our from earlier in American history: is George Washington. George Washington has been known to possess civic virtue. He showed up to help with the army. He ran the Continental Army, even though it wasn't something he had to do. He was asked to do it, and he decided to do it for the good of the people. Later on, they called him up to be the president, and he decided he would do it for the good of the people. None of these things were things he didn't necessarily wanted to do. He felt he had to do them to help out his country. Those things would be a civic virtue, doing good for the whole of the people instead of just for yourself. Hey, if you liked the video you just watched, please click this big blue button here and follow us on YouTube. Or you can click over here on the Patreon button and you can become a patron for as little as $1, and all the money that we get from this goes to creating more videos in the future to help kids keep learning history.